Okay, lower body day. I finally finalized it. This probably took me the longest. I absolutely hated it. So I switched up a few things over the weekend, and I just did it, and I really, really like it. So anyway, we actually are starting with a mini band activation this month. So we're only doing one round. It tends to get a little bit boring, but this is about 5 minutes. So we're gonna start with 5 moves. Press your knees out, 30 seconds, step forward and step back. Hold nice and low, try not to waddle from side to side, monster walk. Then we are going to get down on the floor, smash the mini band under the knees, get in quadruped, drive your heel to the ceiling, activate your butt. Don't let people kind of arch their back. So hold a nice flat back. 30 seconds one leg, move the mini band under the knee, 30 seconds the other leg. Then we're going to lie down on our back. We're not going to do any abduction. We're simply just going to hold the mini band a little bit wider than your hips just to make that glute bridge a little bit harder. It's not extreme. It's just to put a little bit of tension to get your glutes activated. So we have a glute bridge. Then we're going to stand up, hold low, take a couple steps, squat, take a couple steps other direction, and squat. Again, all of these are 30 seconds. And then the last one, grab a band, throw it up over your neck, hinge, snap, minimal knee bend to really stretch out those hammies for the good morning. I would kind of really force people to do that, but obviously if they complain and they hate it, mini band under your feet, still the hip hinge pattern, holding on to the resistance band. So only one round, 30 seconds. Each exercise, the donkey kick is 30 seconds each side, and then that's over with. So then we have 3 supersets. I'm just gonna start by saying this workout is about 41.5 minutes long from start to finish. So the first week or so, the first week 1 and 2, you might find yourself running over. So my suggestion here would be some of the circuits, 3 of them exactly, circuit 1, 2, and 4, have a unilateral exercise. So instead of doing them 3 times, maybe shorten them to 2 times, and then as the week progresses, add in a 3rd round. Superset 1, you have a split squat, rack the cable, outside leg, lunges back. We're taking it back to the split squat, but I want people really to focus on their form. Hand in is going to be a little bit harder. Engage your core, keep your shoulders even. Don't let it tilt to the weight. Lean forward and really drive through that front heel. 30 seconds and 30 seconds. Number 2 is a pull through. Bilateral hinge and snap. They can use the rope or they can use the black handle. So I've been using the black handle myself and holding it like this, and it just kind of pivots really nicely as I hinge and pull back up. And the last thing that I want to say about this is I've been having people, and it's stop right here, push their butt back, and their hands don't go under. That's a good way to really hurt your back. The hinge is really going to pull the work into the hammies and glutes, so just try and coach that. Obviously, make sure their core is engaged and their back is flat. And then squeeze, not overarching, so you know all that. 1 racked cable split squat, bilateral pull through, 3 rounds, maybe 2 rounds in the first week, that's up to you. Circuit number 2. Exercise number 1 is the low reverse walk. So both hands against the wall, lean into the straps, sink low, and big strides. This exercise has shit all over it. So I've also been coaching big, long strides. It's going to dig work into the glute, the hip quads a little bit more than short, choppy steps. So it's just kind of my take on that. So low reverse walk. And then we are going to do, so this is one of the new things that I came up with that I wasn't sure how it worked, but I did it and I was really happy with it as long as they start standing correctly. So we're going to do an SLDL with a Smith bar. We are able to go in that vertical pattern with our hands, which is really cool. But what I noticed was we we need our shins to start about 8 to 10 inches away from the bar. If it's too close, your setup's kind of weird. So just kind of stand in the center and then pick one leg up to make sure it's good. Hands are within shoulders, straight down and up. Okay, so just FYI, Asher, if you have time to do that move before class, just try it out, see how it feels, get your stance adjusted. Sorry, this is so late. I hate traveling when it's come time to send videos and doing a workout, but anyway, just try it out. I was keeping my hands within shoulders, like right under my chest, if you know what that means. Here, but the further away, it becomes less like a single leg deadlift, only because I was imagining holding a kettlebell. So that's how I was kind of thinking about it. So 30 seconds each leg. Again, S-drive, low reverse walk, and a Smith bar deadlift. 3 times because it's unilateral, do it twice, keep one if you want. The other thing is, if people don't want to load that bar for the first set or maybe the first week to get the movement pattern down, I'm totally cool with that as well. Because this is going to be a lot different than any of the other SLDLs that they've done in here. All right, number 3. Straight bar. You sound like I have a straight bar on. Red levers are going to come to mid-shin just so that they can sink down, racket, and stand, and they're not pulling from all the way down low. Wide stance, front squat. I don't have permission for this, so do not do it this month. But when I was doing this, I cleaned and pressed and put it on my back, and I freaking loved it. Don't do it yet. I'm going to see if we do have permission to do that, but just FYI, that was kind of cool. So lean down, racket, and then a wide front stance squat. If people don't like using the bar, I have a couple clients that don't, I just have them do goblet. It is what it is. And then exercise number 2 for that circuit is your hamstring slider leg curls. So you know this one. Make sure their heels press into their shoulder blades, out and in. Modification I would say would be out, lower, pull in, or 2 out, 1 in. I like that better. 2 out, alternate the one that they bring in. So you have your front-loaded wide squat and your slider hamstring leg curls. So those are your 3 circuits for the first set of the workout. Then we are going to go into upper body. Ooh. 2 circuits of 2 exercises. So there's 4 exercises. We're going to do 2 as a circuit twice and then 2 as a circuit twice. So your first one is a half kneeling, supinated, wider grip. Pull down. And if you notice this lovely little scratch on my back, yeah, that's from the machines. And then staggered hands push-up. So push-up position, 1 hand forward, 1 hand further back. One is more of a tricep, one is a wider chest. Because we have 2 rounds, we're not going to alternate. So round 1 hand's forward and backwards, and then round 2, they're going to switch 1 hand forward and backwards. So your half kneeling, supinated, wider grip, lat pull down, and your staggered hands push-up. Circuit number 2. We're familiar with this. I'm going to throw a little bit of shoulder work in. Stand on your band. 1 arm laterally, 1 arm front raise. And then the last one for that upper body is seated, supinated, row. So feet on footrest, L2, R2, palms up for supinated, and you're going to row. 2 times those 2, alternating front lateral band raise and seated supinated row. So that's the end of upper. Number 4 and 5 are the last 2 lower body circuits that we have. Number 4, like I said, is unilateral. So if you need to just do 2 rounds of this one. So this is a lateral lunge with a slider. It's pretty tough. 1 foot's on the slider and you're going to laterally lunge out and drag back in. So they're not going to lunge out as far as they could if they were stepping because they will not come back in. So lunge, really sink and drag. Slide out, sink, and drag. I haven't tried it with the TRX straps. Let me try it really quickly. It's okay. They can use the TRX assisted, or I would just prefer them to get rid of the slider. They really could tweak their knees or pull one of their adductor muscles inside their leg. So 30 seconds slider lunge or no lunge, 30 seconds each leg. And then they have the S-stride walk out. So both handles are all the way against the wall. They are lying on their back with their feet on the belt, holding a glute bridge, and walking their feet so that the belt goes away. So it's just a walk out. So slider lateral lunges, S-stride walk out 2 or 3 rounds, whatever works for you. And then the last one, circuit number 5, is the resistance band sissy squats. So we're going to take that back. The band, put it around your calf, sink into a squat, keeping resistance. Knees stay over ankles and nothing moves. I have been having my clients hold on to a band. So I make sure that it's the black or the green band and their form is on point. So the sissy squat and then an S-stride slide push. So both handles all the way up, lean into the bar, engage your core, and push the sled. 3 rounds of that one. AMRAP. So I was just gonna keep changing this, but okay. AMRAP. We have 10 total in and outs hop squats. They can take the jump out if they want, that's fine. Then scissor jumps. So just pump your arms, keep your feet flat. 20 of those. And then a rotating lunge. So this is kind of a new move. So they're going to lunge, stand, pivot their feet here. They can add a plyo if they want to make it harder. 10 total, so 5 each side. So 10 in-out jump squats, 20 scissor jumps, and then 10 total rotating lunges. And that takes us to core. So at some point, work your way up to 45 seconds each exercise. But we have rotating plank. Start in a high plank with your arms parallel. Rotate all the way to the sides of your feet and to the opposite direction. Make sure your hips are staying high and they're not letting them sink low. Exercise number 2, we've done this one, people love it. Figure 8 crunches. Side, up, center, down. Other side, up, center, down. We want to make sure they're lifting their shoulder blades off the floor as high as they can. Number 3 is that palm X plank. Just like so. 4 and 5 is only 30 seconds ever. Do not increase the time. It's really hard. And eventually your lower back starts to feel it. So I recommend everybody resting on their shoulders. We're hovering 1 foot off the floor as we do that little push kick out. 30 seconds, give them a rest, and then they'll switch. If that's too much, they can rest their foot on the floor and they don't have to hover it. So 45 seconds for the first 3, rotating plank, figure 8 crunch, and the palm plank, and 30 seconds for 4 and 5, which is that push kick each leg. And that's lower.